Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story. And if you have a breakup story you'd like to share, please visit writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. Send it in. I'll possibly respond in a YouTube video just like this. And if you have a comment to help this individual, please put it in the comments below. If you like this video, throw me a like. And if you really like this video, maybe consider subscribing to my channel, because there's more stories coming every day, because breakups aren't an epidemic. It's a human thing. People go through them all over the world. That's the interesting part of it. It's not one of those, it crosses all cultures, all color lines, all religions. Everyone goes through breakups. So that's why I'm always getting some more. So if you are going through a breakup or you like my work, press subscribe. All right, let's get into this. Hi, Mac. I'm 22 years old and had been dating a 23-year-old for 5 months. Up until 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's not really a big difference in age, so you're on the same page. From the beginning, always remember, early 20s is a time where you go through a lot of changes, you change your identity, you kind of think about new careers, so you usually don't stay with the same person you were with at 22 years old, 23 years old. The shelf life is there. From the beginning, he made it clear that he wanted to take things slowly and see where they went without rushing into anything. Is that what you wanted? Although I was looking for something serious, taking things slow seemed like a good idea. Okay, but the bottom line is you felt like he wasn't as serious as you were, which is fine, but over time it will bother you. He would say things during the beginning stages of our relationship that led me to believe that he wasn't sure if he wanted anything serious, but would never elaborate. This was a red flag to me, and I treated it as such. So he might have had a past relationship where he got his heart broken, or the fact that he's 23 years old and he wants to see what else is out there, which is very common. It's not you, it's not personal. We would see each other every weekend that we were able to, spoke every day, so you only see each other on the weekends. That's okay until it isn't. It's not a full-time relationship. You are allowing each other to meet other people during the week at 23 years old, 22 years old. That's the thing is, when you're in university or you're that age group, you're at your best and your hormones are at their highest. So you just meet someone in the bank or at this grocery store or something like that, and all of a sudden you go, oh shit, maybe I want to be single again. That's not personal. That's circumstance. That's timing. About 3 months in, I initiated what are we talk, and it didn't go well. It was very emotional, and it let me know that he was very hesitant to make things serious because he was severely undiagnosed anxiety and depression. Okay, I've said this before. I'm not insensitive or unsensitive towards anxiety or depression, but it can be worked on. There are things you can do for it, so it's not like you just have it. The idea that you have severe anxiety and depression do not help you. You need to look at the problem as anxiety and depression, not severe. You're putting extra sauce on the matter. Though it was hard for me, and like I said, you need to combat those things. How can I get better? How can I come out of depression? Depression, a lot of times, is a state of mind based on past beliefs, based on something you're reliving. Thought it was hard for me to understand. I did my best to be supportive. I encouraged him to seek professional help, and we decided to continue dating casually. Well, I mean, doing your best to be supportive, there you go. Thumbs up. Good for you. You're doing your best. You're not a trained professional in dealing with anxiety or depression. You're not someone that's depressed yourself. So it's going to be very difficult to have a long-term relationship with an individual like this. It sounds harsh. I'm just being real. I encouraged him to seek professional help, and we decided to continue dating casually. Absolutely. Get professional help. For the time being, even though in my eyes we were serious, just without the label, since we were dating exclusively. Why wouldn't you have the label, though? I know that's bothering you. Dating exclusively with no label? Yeah, that's suspect. About a month ago, I initiated another conversation because I felt that he was becoming complacent with where we were, and I still didn't quite understand his position on the topic, since he had casually said that he loved me in person twice. Since his conversation was less emotional and he was able to better explain himself, and I finally started to understand and feel comfortable, I made it clear that I wanted him to think about the future. You wanted him to do this. So bottom line is, you want to be in the present. The fact that you wanted him to do this, maybe he didn't want to think about the future. This is when I allowed myself to let my guard down. About a week later, he became overwhelmed by things happening in his life. Issues with work, his own health, his living situation, his family, his friends, all pushed him into deep depression. Well, you're letting him off the hook in some way. I would have to look at his body of work to assess each thing. But again, timing and circumstances, this is probably not the best time in his life to be in a full-time relationship. I don't know what's occurring. But a great book to read is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. You need to find meaning in everything. So, when you have problems with your health, okay, what am I going to do about this? You have problems at work, what am I going to do about this? Don't be a victim. I did what I could help him. Good. Again, you've said the right things. I asked him about his mental well-being and tried to be as supportive as I could, but he wouldn't talk to me. You did the best you could. I was the only one in his life that knew about his struggles, but he wouldn't give me any details. That's his choice. He got distance. That's his choice. A week later, he broke up with me on the phone. This might be a good thing for you. You keep saying you're doing the best you can. Well, if the best you can is not enough, well, maybe this relationship's not for you. It's going to hurt, but over the long haul, in 3, 4, 5 years, it might be the best thing that ever happened. We had been texting and he had been acting weird. I felt the need to call him, and when I did, it seemed like he explained acting weird. I felt the need to call him, and when I did, it seemed like, as he explained himself, he convinced himself to end things right then. He convinced himself. His reasoning was that he couldn't see a future, not just for me, but with anyone because of his mental state. Ding, 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 ding. That's your turning point right there. It's not you. Accept what he said and move on, because you're not a mental professional person, and he's saying right now, mentally, I'm not in a good place, and I don't think you can help me. I don't think this is good for both of us. He didn't want to drag me down and said that I was too good for him. I don't like that statement, I was too good for him, but bottom line is he's telling you he doesn't want to bring you down to his level. I know my own self-worth. If I was too good for him, then I wouldn't have been with him. That's what you think, that's not what he thinks. You see what I'm saying? Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean your model's the same as his. The call lasted about an hour, in which I said I loved him, and he said that we wasn't in love. I texted to check on him that night, knowing that this might add to his depression. I then wrote out a long text that I sent the next morning, asking him to get help that he needs, which he seemed receptive to. I then initiated no contact. It's been 2 weeks, and he hasn't reached out despite asking to stay friends, and he's been posting normally on social media. I lost someone that pushed me to better myself, I lost someone that pushed me to better myself, applauded my accomplishments, and made me genuinely happy. From the way he acted while we were together, I know he lost the same. What is your take on this? I just gave you my take. The way you worded this last part is confusing. I then initiated no contact. It's been 2 weeks, and he hasn't reached out despite asking to stay friends, and has been posting normally on social media. Okay, just be in no contact for you. If you don't want to be friends and you want more at this time, then don't be friends. I always tell people, but they don't listen. I wouldn't follow anyone on social media outside of a breakup. You're going to see a picture and it's going to drop you to ground zero every time. I lost someone that pushed me to better myself, applauded my accomplishments, and made me genuinely happy. Well, he also said that you were too good for him. So he needs to work on himself. This might not be an issue with you. It's an issue with him. And for someone to work on themselves, they need time away. So you need to accept that. And accept this as a great moment in your life as far as the way he treated you. Is he happier without me? Who knows? I wouldn't know. I'm not talking to him. I don't know anything about him. Bottom line is he's in a bad mental place with a lot of problems outside of you, so I'm not going to assume that he's happier without you. Would it make you feel better that he's not happy? Bottom line is you don't need to spend time thinking about that. He made this choice. He's in a bad mental state. That's what he told you. Was his reasoning bullshit? I don't think so. Not by what you told me. Is it worth trying to rekindle something, or is this situation hopeless? No, not at this point. From what he told you, the way he acted, and the fact that he wouldn't put a label on your relationship long term, no, I don't think it's worth rekindling. I think you need to go into no contact for yourself, heal yourself, and start dating other people at some point. Is this situation hopeless? No, don't use the word hopeless. That's strong. That's a strong word, but right now, where you're at, based on what he's told you and the relationship you had, you're better off moving forward. It's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. But when you come out of that tunnel, you'll go, wow, yeah, this was the right thing to do. So I hope that helps you. Please visit rightmac.com. If you've got a breakup story you'd like to share, or if you'd like to book a live coaching session. Thank you for supporting the channel.